My immigrant mother groomed me to be invisible, so I became the spotlight that locked her up. My mother controlled every detail of my life from the moment she birthed me on American soil. And I don't mean normal immigrant parents study hard, make us proud. I mean she cut my hair herself so no stylist would remember my face. She made me switch between 3 pairs of identical shoes so I'd never develop a recognizable walk. I couldn't have more than 2 friends because popular children get more attention. By the time I turned 18, she had raised an American with perfect grades, no social media, and no questions. At 19, I mentioned wanting a driver's license, and she burned my birth certificate by accident while cooking. When I got accepted to Berkeley, she called them crying about my mental health crisis until they deferred my admission. She installed a GPS tracker in my shoes, then acted hurt when I found it. Don't you trust your mother? She started putting melatonin in my food so I'd be too tired to go out and said I must be getting sick. When my girlfriend came over for dinner, Mom served her shrimp knowing she was allergic, then screamed at me for not mentioning it while Macy's face swelled shut. After that, she changed our locks daily and only gave me the new key after I'd proven I deserved it by washing everyone's clothes by hand. She forged rejection letters from every job I applied to, then comforted me about being unemployable while booking mysterious flights. Good news, Mija. I found you work with a family business. Just one quick trip to meet your cousins. She'd already packed my bags, and that trip is when I discovered why she was like that. At the airport, Mom kissed my forehead like always. Remember, Mija, you're just visiting your sick cousin. She sewed the lining on the bags herself. The TSA pulled me aside at random, except it wasn't random. The dogs were going insane. Miss, we need to search your luggage. My stomach dropped as they sliced open the lining and white powder spilled onto the metal table. 5 kilos. This isn't mine, I screamed, but Mom had already disappeared from the waiting area. They cuffed me in front of hundreds of travelers while I sobbed her name. I got locked up for 2 years. Mom never visited, never wrote, never even put money in my commissary, but her cousin sure came to rub it in my face. Your mom is heartbroken. After all the precautions she took in raising you, you still ruined her plan. Couldn't you have been more careful? So that was it. I was never her daughter. I was just her disposable lottery ticket she'd use to smuggle and get rich. That's when my tears stopped. As soon as I got out, I'd show her what disposable really meant. 2 years of prison taught me patience. When I got out, I played broken and begged for forgiveness, cried about needing family. Mom took me back, suspicious but desperate since she needed money. I'll give you one more chance, Mija, but this time, you'll do it right. She scheduled another Colombia trip and started her routine of packing my bags, but she didn't know I'd kept my DEA handler's number, or that I'd learned her melatonin schedule for every night. The night before our flight, I made dinner while Mom supervised my packing. You've learned your lesson, yes? She asked, folding clothes around vacuum-sealed packages. I nodded, the broken daughter act perfected. Then I brought her tea. For your nerves, Mama. She drank it without suspecting anything, and within minutes, the Ambien I'd crushed inside hit her hard. She slumped over my suitcase and I got to work. First I opened her carry-on, the one she never let me touch, and found her vitamin bottles. I emptied them and filled them with the white powder I'd scraped from my own suitcase lining, the one she just packed. Then I made sure my suitcase was clean, and sent my DEA handler a short and simple text. Mom woke up an hour later all confused and groggy. I told her, you just fell asleep, must have been exhausted. I already finished packing. She nodded, fooled by my perfect daughter act these past few days, and then went back to sleep. The next day at airport security, I went first as always, clean. Then Mom walked through and the scanner beeped. Ma'am, please step aside. Her face went from calm to panicked when they opened her vitamin bottles and powder dropped on the table. I was watching everything from far away, and my mom turned to look at me in anger before saying, those aren't mine. My daughter must have, but an officer interrupted her by tying her hands behind her back. My DEA handler was standing right there and explained, we already know that your passport is fake and that you're carrying $20,000 worth of emergency cash. You're under arrest. The invisible woman suddenly became the very center of attention. She screamed my name and then ordered them to free her because it was all her daughter's fault. I just turned around and went to board my flight, since my bags were already packed. My mother was deported and locked up for 20 years for grooming a minor into helping her illegal business and trying to smuggle items over the border. But me, I was an American citizen and slowly rebuilt my life in the land of the free.